Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So tonight I thought in honor of going into 2026, I thought I would do a quick Q&A for you guys. So these questions I got, they're from spiritandmuse.com, and I thought it'd be they're thought-provoking questions. So I'm gonna answer like maybe 10 of them at most. Excuse me, just burped. I'm gonna answer like 10 of these at most, and we're just gonna get through this, okay? And I was trying to find like a New Year's Eve Q&A, but it was like, why can't I find one? So I just found a random one before the new year, because the next Q&A I do, hopefully my channel will have even more subscribers, and I'm actually going to ask y'all these questions either in the comments or in the community section. I'll write it and y'all can just tell me questions you want to ask me, or I'll do it on my Instagram. But I'm not going to do it like this next time, I promise y'all. I'm going to do it differently if I remember. So one of the questions that they say on here is, who's the most influential person in your life? I would say the most influential person in my life, especially right now, would have to be my mom. I definitely look up to my mom a lot. Sorry, y'all. She's definitely inspiring. She's always here for me. I can always go to her and talk to her about any and everything. She's always uplifting me. She's always just being the most amazing person ever. So my mom definitely, like, she's, whew, I've been through some things in 2025, and she definitely was the main person that really got me through it. Outside of God and everyone outside of God, like, yeah, she was one of the main people. What's the best decision you ever made in your life? I would say to start healing. Starting to heal myself was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life, because at the age I'm now, like, I went years being broken, years and years. I was broken from like since I was 18 years old, and that went all through it's been years of me being broken and not fixing the issue and running from healing. So I would say the best decision I made, especially in 2025, was to finally take therapy more seriously, finally heal myself, and finally get away from all the trauma and things that were pretty much affecting my life. What's your deepest regret, and how can you forgive yourself or make amends? My deepest regret is letting the wrong people in my life and letting them stay longer than they should. How do I forgive myself? By not allowing people in my life who are not good for my soul, who do not bring out the best version of me, not allowing people in my life who are just not good for me overall. So yeah, that's definitely a deep regret that I have, because I've let so many of the wrong people into my life. And because I'm such a nice, kind person, I kept overlooking the people that were in my life, and I kept kind of really just allowing people to treat me any kind of way. Not really thinking too much about it. And now I know better. So definitely, once you know better, you do better. So yep, that's definitely one regret I have, but I forgive myself by doing better and by leaning on God. If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be? If I could change one thing about the world, it would definitely be the world needs more love. I feel like people are so hateful and spiteful and nasty, and I feel like the world just needs more love. I would have the world have more love and peace in it, and less drama and chaos. Let's see. What's your biggest pet peeve? I just don't like rude people. I hate people who, I shouldn't say hate, that's a strong word. I dislike people who are rude. I just think, especially when it's unnecessary, like some people can just be rude for no reason. And it's just like, why are you being so rude? Like, you have no valid reason for doing it. Like, just being a nasty person for no reason. Just being nasty for no reason. I don't like that. What do you have faith in right now? I have faith in humanity, and I also have faith in God right now, because I believe that God can move mountains, and I believe that He can, change your life, and He can make things better, but you have to have faith and believe. Do you believe in second chances? I do and I don't. Some people will come, literally, I'm going to tell y'all some stories. Now I got to put this down. I believe in second chances to a certain extent, y'all, because some people will literally take advantage of that second chance. Some people will literally come into your life and they act like they'll do something wrong, they'll keep doing it, and then they'll come back like, oh, I changed, I'm not doing this no more, I'm better now. And then you really sit down and you talk to the person, you realize they're still doing the same thing over and over. I've given people second chances before and they've done the same patterns and did the same things to me again after saying they had quote unquote changed. So I think some people do not deserve a second chance. Some people do and some people don't. It depends what they do with that second chance. Do they make things better or do they keep doing the same thing? So I believe in second chances and I don't believe in. It's kind of like an up and down, like a seesaw. It's something that I would have to make sure that person really deserves it and they're actually taking it seriously enough to want to change the patterns of the behavior. Are you honest? I always try to be honest, y'all. With anybody in my life, I try to be honest. You know, I don't like hurting people's feelings, though. That's one of the biggest things, like, about me that you'll learn. I don't like hurting people's feelings because I feel guilty if I hurt somebody's feelings and I make them upset. But I do think that it is good to be honest. I try to be as honest as I possibly can, even if it means sometimes cutting a little corner because I may try not to hurt somebody's feelings. But I do think honesty is the best policy. Who do you trust most in life? God. Outside of God, I trust my parents and my daughter and my family and my friends who, that's it, my close friends. What's the most important characteristic do you look for in a partner? When I date again, which probably won't be, it'll be years from now, to me, when I look at characteristics, I look how that person carries themselves, how they treat the people around them. Are they kind? Are they empathetic? Are they generous? That's the things that I look at. Do they have God in them? You know, are they family oriented? You know, things like that. Who's the one that got away? Nobody. I don't think any of my exes got away. They're right where they're supposed to be. So there's not one person, especially none of my exes, that I would say that I should be with. I mean, there is one particular ex that I do think about every now and then, and I wonder what if. But I think for the most part, we're both where we're supposed to be. So yeah. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of success? When I think of success, I think of when I think of success, I think my neighbor is taking a shower. I can hear through the wall. But anyway, sorry, y'all. When I think of success, it means doing something that you love and doing something that fulfills you and it's successful to you. Whether it's you opening up a clothing store and you start to make a few sales, even if it's not a lot of sales, but a few sales, that's what I consider successful because you're doing something. Or if you are a YouTuber and you may not have a lot of subscribers, but you're getting there and your videos are getting views, that's successful to me. It's all what you make it. It doesn't have to be you have to have this 1,000 sales here or 5 sales here, but it's just about what you believe it to be. What successful means to you. Successful means to me just trying, putting yourself out there. Like, even though my YouTube right now have 200 and some subscribers, that's successful in my opinion because I went from having, I think, 150 to now 206 and within a span of like 2 months, I believe. So that's successful to me because I'm getting places, you know. So it's all about you trying and making that commitment, you know, and whatever. Success is different to everybody, but I feel like success to me, you have to grow into that success, you know. It's not going to snap a finger and happen overnight. You got to grow into it, and every achievement you make is a sign of success, in my opinion. Past or present, is there someone you wish you made amends with? If so, who and why? Someone I wish I made amends with. Oh my God, y'all. That is a good question. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. That question stumped me. Someone I wish that I could make amends with. Dang, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you, because a lot of the people in my life that are not in my life, they're not in my life for a reason, and I don't wish to make amends with them because they didn't treat me so well. So I can't really say right now that I would make amends with nobody, or I would come to a peace gathering with anybody, just because the people that are not in my life, I don't feel like God wanted them in my life and they weren't supposed to be there. I will say this though, before the new year comes in 2025, I really just wanted to make amends with my ex because I wanted us to be at peace. And me and him did make amends and we are cordial. Will we ever get back together? No. But we're cordial. We're friends. We talk every now and then and we checking on each other, and that's that. So that was the one person I think I did want to make amends with, because I just wanted that peace between me and him and not the drama and chaos. But outside of that, I can't say anyone else that I would want to make amends with, or try to fix something or with anyone. Like, to me, it's like once that chapter closes, it closes. What's the question? Hold on. What's the question you want to ask most, to whom and why? Golly, there was somebody that hurt me recently, and if I didn't have them blocked, I would ask them, why did you hurt me? Why did you lie to me? That would be the question I would ask them. Why did you hurt me? And why did you lie to me? That would be the question. Who is someone you wish was still around? My guy friend who passed away a couple years ago. I had a guy friend that passed away in 2022. So yeah, I wish he was still around. I would give anything to see his face again, to see his laugh again, to see have a conversation, to hang out with him again. So yeah, that's the one person in my life that I wish was still around right now. I really do. How have you shown up for yourself lately? Well, I'm just starting to show up for myself, you guys, because I have not been showing up for myself at all. But now that I'm in this space that I'm in, I'm starting to show up for myself just a little bit more. So I would definitely have to say I'm getting there. And by showing up for myself, I'm actually putting myself first for once, taking care of myself for once, and not allowing outside things to interfere with what I have going on. If you could receive closure from one person, who would it be? I like I already said a few minutes ago, the only person I wanted closure from in 2025 was my ex, and I pretty much got that. So that was it. But there's no one else that I need to get closure from. Are you resisting change? If so, why? I think I was resisting change a few months ago. Yeah, I was, because it was like I was halfway in trying to make these changes in my life, but then I kept pulling myself out of it as if I was getting scared, and I was getting pulled away and pulled back in. And I finally was like, you know what, I can't do this. I gotta be all the way in. I can't keep resisting trying to change. Like, I had this conversation with my parents tonight about how 2026 is gonna be different for me and my daughter. We're gonna be at church on every Sunday. We're gonna get back to reading the Bible. We're gonna actually make God the center of everything in our lives, like just everything. In your own words, what does love mean? I don't want to break down what love means per se, because I don't want to talk about something I've never experienced. I've never been in love. I have loved people, but I've never been in love, deep in love. So I don't know what that's like. So I can't speak on what in love would look like or feel like, because I've never been in love. But I will say that I think when you love somebody, you genuinely cherish that person with everything in you. You treat them the best way you want. You treat them the best to your capacity. You don't want to do anything to hurt them. I will say that. In your own words, what does self-worth mean? To me, your self-worth is how you treat yourself. And I didn't always treat myself good. So it's how you treat yourself, how you see yourself. You don't let nobody dog you out or disrespect you or treat you bad, because you have so much self-worth that you're not going to allow that to happen to you. And I wish I had more of that over the years. But in 2026, best believe I'm going to have a lot of self-worth. Have you made space in your life for what you want? I'm definitely going to be doing that in 2026, because I know what things I want and what things I don't want. I'm going to be making a lot of space. What's a moment you would cherish forever? Ooh, the moment that I had my daughter. I will always cherish that moment forever, because that's my baby. How do you handle anger? Oh Lord, I don't handle anger the best. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I'm working on it. But going into 2026, definitely not gonna allow myself to be put in situations that make me angry. I'll walk away from those situations. I'll do what needs to be done, but I won't put myself in situations that are not good for me or that make me upset. Where have you felt most accepted? I felt most accepted through God. I felt most accepted in church. Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. The most accepted place that I feel is in church, to be honest with you. It's in church. Because when I go to church, my church family it's a small church, but I love my church family. And whenever I go there, I feel so at home. And I feel so accepted by everybody in that church. Like, there's no judgment, there's nothing. When I walked through those doors as a single mom, when I first joined my church, like, everybody opened us with welcome arms. Like, they were so kind, so sweet. Pastor and his wife, just beautiful people. And that's where I feel most accepted, is in the church, because there's no judgment there, at least not in my church. Where have you felt most rejected? Probably in the real world. I feel like out here in the real world, I felt most rejected by people, especially in high school. Because I feel like a lot of people just didn't understand me. I was different from everybody. I had my own little thing going on. I wasn't conforming to social norms, and I feel like that's why I felt most rejected. What has been your most valuable life lesson? One lesson I've learned, especially in 2025, is to always love yourself and put yourself first. I've learned that it's okay to be alone. It's okay to sit with yourself. It's okay to not have it all together. I've learned to allow yourself to heal, allow yourself to grow. I've learned that you do not have to be in a relationship just to be happy. You can be single and still be just as happy. And I've learned to just wait, let God send you that person. Like, I was watching a YouTuber earlier, and they were talking about how when you look for the person, you meet the wrong person, but when you don't look, you meet the right person. So I think I've learned that when it comes to love, stop looking for it. Stop searching for it. Just let it find you. Like, most times, 9 times out of 10, most people's stories that I've heard when they met the love of their life is because they weren't looking for it. They literally were just out here living their best lives, and that person just came into their life, and they met them, and they fell in love. That was it. They didn't go out here searching for it. So that's one thing I've learned. Don't search for love. Let love find you. How do you reconnect with yourself after a loss? I have to go to God after a loss. Like, because a lot of times when I go through losses and I go through stuff, like I'm going through something now, y'all, and I really had to just go to God. I had to pray. And by the grace of God, I had wonderful friends in my life who honestly pulled me through it too, by praying for me and being there for me. But it was a lot of, like, I really had to go to God to reconnect to myself. What do you need most right now? Peace. That's all I've been wanting, is peace. Who always has your best interest in mind? I would have to say my parents and God. My parents and God, and my close family and friends. What scares you the most? Leaving this earth too early and leaving my daughter by herself. That scares me. I don't ever want to die too early and my daughter ends up being on this earth by herself and she don't have me. That's something that scares me. Dying too young, dying too soon, and just not being able to live life to my full potential because I will die too soon. Before that happens, that's something that scares me. What life lesson have you learned the hard way? Oh my God. A life lesson that I've had to learn the hard way: moving in with somebody too quick. Don't ever do that, y'all. Don't ever move in with somebody that you barely know so quick. That's a lesson I had to learn. I also had to learn, don't jump into a relationship until you fully know someone. So I learned 2 life lessons. Don't rush into a relationship, and don't move with someone so soon before you really get to know them. That's 2 things I've learned, especially in 2025. 2 things. If you could ask God, life, the angels, or powers that be any questions and receive direct answer, what would it be? I would probably just ask, how is my 2026 going to be? And what is in store for my life and as the future goes on? This was pretty easy, you guys. Let me see. see. What helps you breathe easy? What helps me breathe easy is just knowing that I have God and I have a good support system around me. Let me see. What is one of your worst tendencies? My worst tendency would probably be, God, I wish, this is the thing. Probably thinking that everybody's good when they're not. I know that's a bad thing to say because everybody has good in them, but I feel like I tend to really, like, not, like, somebody could be in front of my face right now talking to me and I would think they're a good person because I genuinely do believe everybody has good in them. But everyone else around me could see something in that person that I don't see. And then they'll tell me, Sherelle, this person's not good for you. I saw this, I saw that. And I won't believe them because I'll see just what they present to me. And I'll bypass all the stuff that's being told or the negative stuff that I see in front of me, like the red flags. So that's a bad tendency that I have, is to try to see the good in everybody, even when they've shown me who they are. And I still be like, oh no, they're still a good person. So that's something I'm working on. What's your superpower? Oh my God. Trying to juggle everything. Lord, multitasking. Okay. I don't know. It says, what's one thing you would tell your childhood crush? If you could tell your childhood crush one thing, what would it be? Why didn't we get together? Because I'm thinking of my childhood crush in my head right now. I'm not going to say his name, but why did we never date? Like, you were my crush. We dated in like kindergarten, right? Or was it preschool? And we never, why we never got together later in life? I don't know. What have you learned about yourself in the past year that I'm stronger than what I think I am? And that I can conquer and get through anything? Alright, y'all. So these are just a few questions. And this was kind of cool. To do this little thing. And again, y'all, I'll put the website that I got the questions in. I think it's like something.com when I'm editing it. But thank you guys for tuning in. I gotta go, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and that notification bell, and be notified when I drop these bangers. And again, this is Healing Conversations with Sherelle.